So we just finished practice and been parking right there for 3 days, taking up 5 spots. She tells me, the lady comes out and tells me, real nice, I can only take up 4 spots, can't take up 5. Even though I've been there the whole time, hadn't caused any problems whatsoever. So I'm just gonna move totally, and I'd rather have another spot than get kicked out and have no place to stay. We're back. Finally, after a long break, we are ready for action again. Time to get it kicked off here at Lake Eufaula. It's gonna be a good one. Holy cow, it's early. 4:06, we're headed to the ramp. Takeoff this morning is 5:30. But no complaints. Glad to be back in the saddle and getting the season kicked back off. Started off good down at St. John's River. Had a good tournament at the Classic. So we're back in it again to see if we can't keep that streak alive. It's a challenge to maintain good tournaments every single time. You just kind of feel like eventually it's going to run out and you're going to have a rough tournament, but hopefully we can keep the ship pointed in the right direction and get it done today. Had some crazy weather this week for practice. It was rainy, stormy, then it'd be sunny and hot. This morning it's really muggy and real thick overcast skies, but it's not supposed to rain until later, so hopefully the wind will stay down and we can move around. And being boat 46, I don't feel too good about getting on one of my better spots, but hopefully we can make the right adjustments throughout the day and have something to show at the end. Well, in practice, I kind of decided, it's June in the south. Lake Eufaula is an offshore lake. I committed 100% of my time offshore, marking as much stuff as I could, looking for schools of fish. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run those places, and a lot of them are just little trash piles and little drop-offs and rock. And some of them are schools of fish, but I think these bigger fish here on Eufaula, they live in different places. They don't just stay in those big schools like a lot of people want to find them. I think you kind of have to fish smaller, more subtle places sometimes here. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay deep, start deep, stay deep the entire day. I committed 3 full days of practice to it. I feel like it's the way to win here, and I'm just ready to get out there and get kicked back off and see if we can't do something.
Shaking off the rust. Bang my head against the wall. Try to hold a smile, but I'm sick of it all. Everyone with something to say. Better hold my tongue or I'll make a mistake. I get up.
Well, me being as that I spent all my time out deep, and I knew watching the weather that we were going to have some scattered storms today and some rain and clouds and wind, and that really didn't play into my favor today. I really want that high sun, really, the more calm it is, the better. You really want it to be tough and hard this time of year. It just puts those fish out there where I like them to be and where I want to be able to catch them. And a lot of guys still caught them like that, but for me, the weather, I feel like, was a huge reason why I didn't get more opportunities at some bigger fish.
Now I'm shaking off the rust.
I think the more you hit, the better your opportunities are to have a big stringer. And I feel like I did that today. I just felt like either timing was off or whatever. I just never did get any good bites. But if we get that right weather, I know I said that before, but if that sun will come out and put those fish down in those piles, I think if you run 20, 30, 40 brush piles in a day, I think you have a really good chance to get 5 good bites. Well, the way I like to fish this time of year is 2 things. I like to fish structure and schools of fish. And practice was slow for finding schools. Marked 2 or 3 places that I thought had some schools of fish on them, and was able to catch a few off those. But the biggest key for me, I think, if we get the right weather, is the brush piles. And I think running those, I think the more you hit, the better your opportunities are to have a big stringer. And I feel like I did that today. I just felt like either timing was off or whatever. I just never did get any good bites. But if we get that right weather, I know I said that before, but if that sun will come out and put those fish down in those piles, I think if you run 20, 30, 40 brush piles in a day, I think you have a really good chance to get 5 good bites. Pound and a half.
Yeah.
That sucked. That one got it for short. Pound and a half. Two and a half. And 4 and a half.
Is it legit 4?
Yeah. But it's still not.
Yeah.
Give me a little love for Stetson Blaylock. Stetson Blaylock represents Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hot off a performance at the Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic. 13-1 today gives you 30 pounds, 9 ounces, and currently in 23rd place at the halfway point of this weigh-in. So we'll have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, this was tough. I kind of committed all deep this week. I never made a cast at the bank all week in practice, and you know, sometimes you look back and wish you'd do things a little different. I feel like I probably should have spent at least half of that practice shallow just to see what I could find, because today I didn't have a fish at noon and was able to catch those in the last 2 hours. So salvaged a lot of points right there for sure.
Right there.
Not high enough, buddy.
Hey, Daddy. Tomorrow's the last day. Yeah.
I didn't make the cut this time.
Oh, if you make the cut.
I know you've gotten used to it, but
He's like, what do
You
you
didn't
mean?
get a fish?
I didn't have a fish at noontime today. Caught all mine after noontime.
If you had some at noon, you would have made the cut.
Thought I just caught a couple more big ones.
Well, we just finished up here at Eufaula. Finally got our season kicked back off, and I had this one circled as one of those sketchy ones where I needed to just survive it and try to move on. And man, that's all I ever did here. I just barely survived. You know, I kind of committed to fish deep the whole time, which I think might have been a little bit of a mistake. I just figured June down in this part of the country, you know, down here in Alabama, it's an offshore lake. Those fish just did not go. I mean, I ran all my stuff today plus some, and you know, yesterday I had 17.8, and today I had 0 fish at noon. And you know, at that point it kind of just becomes try to get a limit and salvage the tournament. You know, and you might catch a big limit in the process, but you want to get a limit to salvage your points to move on for the rest of the year. And that's what I did. I ended up catching a small limit for 13 pounds today. Most places 13's not too bad, but here they caught them really good. Definitely missed something here. I think that's a lesson to be learned is, you know, don't just assume that every bass is going to be caught on a ledge. You know, when you have 3 days of practice, sometimes you got to kind of explore a little bit more and kind of see what else is out there. But all in all, it wasn't a bad week. You know, yesterday I was inside the top 40 cut. I'll figure I'll probably finish in the low 50s. So that's kind of, if you can keep that as your worst tournament of the year and then have some good ones to follow it, then things can still end up really good at the end of the season. So, you know, bummed I didn't get to make the cut here, but all in all, it's been a good start to the year, and being able to top 10 at St. John's and then, you know, get a solid finish, good points here. We'll take it, roll right on to the next one. Well, if I missed the cut just barely, that right there cost me. That's probably a good 2 to 4 ounces worth of something that the fish puked up. That sucks.